Welcome back to Playing with a Dev. Today I am happy to welcome back Grimmcore and my buddy Verso from Ravenheim. We talked about quite a few things while we were together on the Happy Gamer server. In this episode, including Mistlands foods, inspiration, and how to navigate in the Mistlands. Let's go! Hello!
Hello.
Yay.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello.
There you guys
Hello.
are. Hi Robin! Good to see you
Hello.
again.
Nice to see you too.
Welcome to the Happy Gamer server.
Well, thank you.
And welcome back, I suppose, Verso, even though you're not wearing pants again.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome.
He has an issue. I don't know if you guys have met before. V, have you ever met Grimmcore? Verso,
No, I
this
don't
is
think so.
Grimmcore, this is Verso.
Hello, Rizzo. You're the guy standing on my head when I came in
No. That was a double.
without pants.
It wasn't me. Oh, you don't even want to know. He defouls everything. It's horrible.
Lies.
You know it's true. Yeah, Verso plays with me in Ravenheim. Which is like the content creator server we have going with Kaisen and Drak and Lala and Magzag and Smitty's Survival. So it's a lot of fun and craziness over there.
How do you become a raven, by the way?
You have to be invited. It's,
Oh, it's one of those gangs.
It is. It is. We're picky. Picky. I suppose we could get you over there sometime and you could be an honorary raven. I don't know.
It's okay.
I'll have to check. I don't know if you're acceptable. I'm kidding, of course. You'd be welcome to visit. But yeah, we're at the Happy Gamer server. Everybody's excited to have you here today and come see a little bit of what we've done. We also have in voice several of my admins. We have Brianna.
Hello.
Hello.
And Josh.
Hello.
Hello.
And Tal.
Hello.
Hello.
Tal was gonna try and fix our tech problems, but we figured it out. I did not ban you, for the record. No dub was banned here today.
Never.
I'm never installing another mod ever again.
You know, I don't think it was that though. I think it was
No, probably not.
the
Probably
number
not.
was wrong.
But I'm still never installing a mod ever again.
Yeah.
It was the first and last time.
Permitted list.txt.
I was surprised when you said you had installed a mod. Let's go this way. I wasn't. We're gonna take a secret entrance.
No,
to where
I
we're
was
going.
really, really against installing mods for going there because I had like
surprised
all
you
the.
did.
I was taking the interview from home and I had all the Mistlands is on my computer here, and I was like, I really don't feel like installing something on my computer that I don't have any control over. And I was asking, like, is this gonna be able to see information and data mine or anything like that? And they were like, we don't think so. I'm like,
Oh, that's not a good answer. No. Not the best answer.
Yeah, no, so
I would think a solid no. I mean, okay. This is Valheim It is, and it's loading in for me. We're gonna go get you guys checked in at the hotel first, so that you have a bed, because that's probably not a horrible idea.
all right.
Of something to do. Not that I plan on killing anyone today. At all. It's loading in slow for me right now. Is it loading in slow for you guys?
Yeah, it is. At least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too.
I've never seen it load in that slow before. That's interesting. It might be because we have so many people in the local area. Is probably what it is. So this is our hotel created by Brianna. And she's waiting in here, I'm sure. Oh yes. Gotta check in.
You guys are just running through the door.
It's It's magic.
Like straight through it. It wasn't even open. You're like, I just entered like this. Hello, hello, Bree, the dreamer.
Hello.
Hello.
So you've got like 3 different size suites upstairs, and then 3 more downstairs that you guys can pick from. So have a
All right,
run
which
around.
one am I checked into?
Whichever one you would like. You've got 6 to pick from. So
Okay. Let's see.
Upstairs, by the
You got
cozy
3 upstairs?
fire.
yep, and you got 3 downstairs.
Downstairs by the kitchen,
This suite number 3.
the dining room.
I want the best suite. Which one's the best?
You can't have mine. Haha.
The
Mine is-
This is
upstairs ones
nice.
are bigger.
Yeah, the upstairs ones are bigger, V. Brianna did this build. This build kind of came to mind, or the whole Valheim thing kind of came to mind after we met in LA. And
All right.
I was like, that would be fun to do, like, a theater and, like, a place where you could, like, do recordings and have, like, a sound stage and all that kind of stuff.
What was the name of the hotel we stayed at? I don't remember.
I was trying to think of it the other day, and I'm not sure. It was...
Was it like Vertigo? No, something.
Oh, I almost had it. No, it's gone. It was a really nice hotel. It was through it was an IHG hotel. I know I remember that because like I got one of their like rewards membership things when I stayed there.
We didn't have like a door handle for the bathroom. It was broken.
Really?
So me and Christopher were like, wait, okay, nice.
That's odd. That seems like that would be something that they would make a bit of a priority, but you know, I can walk through doors, so
Yeah. That is correct.
I've got magic.
Is it all inclusive?
Yes, it is all inclusive. If you need any food or cocktails, they're here for the taking.
Oh, but this is like old food. This is not Mistlands food, the new food.
We're not as fancy as you are. Watch, you're gonna walk around builds today and you're gonna be like, oh, I forgot we had that in the game. Because you're all caught up in the Mistlands. Tell me about the food in the Mistlands. Tell me about it. I want to know. It looks intriguing. I have some guesses about it, but I want to know what you can tell me about it. Can you tell me
All right,
anything?
so go for your guesses first then.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. Okay. So, I think the gelatinous blob goo jello thing with chunks inside, I think that's made from the tick. Because it looks like it's the same color as the tick, and the tick is kind of see-through-y with kind of veins showing. And like it would pop and you could get jello out of it. I don't know, that's disgusting.
All right, that's a very interesting theory.
Jeez. You're gonna taunt me with this. Okay.
I can't say anything.
I know you can't say. Okay, what else? Okay, so on Jonathan's last video he put out on Twitter with the exploding
that
person.
was so spoilery. He's been okay. So this is what's going on. The entire Mistlands thing, when we've been working, we've been discussing internally, like how much do we want to show the community that we're working on, and we've been like, oh, we don't know if this is going in at all, so maybe not show it at all. So we had like our community manager telling us like, don't share too much and don't spoil anything.
Yeah.
And now that we're coming to an end, I'm trying not to spoil anything. I'm just trying to like take some nice photos or make some videos that are not so spoilery. And then now Jonathan's up to like one-upping me. So we're
Smars.
Yes, the Smars bar. We're one-upping each other all the time right now, and the last video he took, it was like, wait, did you ask Josephine for permission for that? No. Like, okay, all right, I see how it is.
Did he get a talking to?
I don't know. Maybe
You
one thing that we have talked
it.
about, like not really spoiling enemies, and that's something we've had for a long time. I'm not saying that is not or is an enemy, but it killed a player.
Whatever it was, it killed a player. Okay, here's my theory on that. I don't know if you saw the news video that I did on that, but I like took it down to frame by frame by frame.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you? And I know I got some things wrong in it because I looked back later and I was like, that's not popcorn. That was stupid. But I think it has to do with that dungeon with the goopy stuff outside of it. Because it looked like same color, goopy kind of thing, whatever it was that killed him.
Yes. Yes, it has something to do with that, but everything has something to do with that.
Well, that narrows it down a lot. I'm messing with you. I know you can't tell me anything. Let's go over here. I want to show you another part of Valheim Leewood.
Wait, what was that? All the guesses?
Oh, wait, no, sorry, I'm not finished with guesses. Okay, let's walk and talk.
Okay, walk and talk. Okay, let's walk.
Okay, so for the food. Okay, well, that's what I was gonna say. In that little video, there was food sitting on the table, right? And so there was meat, like a new meat, cooked meat, sitting on the table. And I think that's rabbit legs. I'm sorry, I can't call it rabbit. Hare legs.
Yep. Probably.
It seems weird to call it hare legs because that sounds gross, like hairy legs. Just saying. Am I right?
Okay, I've got like loads of hairs around.
Yeah, I got some hairy legs too. Yeah,
everywhere. And then my neighbor has got rabbits, so it's important to actually differentiate between those two.
Ever since you did that, I keep catching myself and not calling it a rabbit. But yeah, hares are a lot bigger than rabbits, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think the new rug that we've seen is from the hare because it looks like it has the same type skin texture on it. And so if that's the case, then I think it's a pretty big size hare. I mean, that would make sense. It looks like it would be bigger than a regular rabbit.
I think maybe the size of a boar, I'm guessing.
Ooh.
Those hares have been taunting me the entire Mistlands production because those were basically one of the first things we set up very early on. But they have had the deer sounds on forever.
Oh no!
Dennis has gone in and like he's done new sounds for them. Now they sound more like mini monkeys or something like that. They're pretty cute in sounding, but before they were like, you run through Mistlands and you just like honk, honk, honk everywhere, and like, oh, they're here somewhere in the mist.
That's hilarious. Let's go this way. We're gonna go in backstage. This is the theater built by Tiki, but we're gonna sneak around to the backstage. See, look, Grimmcore is now showing.
Oh.
Verso, you're on the other side.
Huh?
Like you're special or something.
Which other side? Where?
Oh, we didn't go to it. It's on the other side on the front because there are 2 ticket booths. V, let's go in backstage. This is Studio 54.
Studio 54?
Yeah. So this is backstage of the theater.
It's Christie's room.
Yep, that's my dressing room.
Nice.
And there's a guest dressing room here if you want to check your hair real quick before you go on stage.
I do.
Make sure that your bald head is waxed enough.
Yeah, I was just about to ask what here.
Alright, I'm going to go up here and introduce you guys on the stage. And then if you guys want to come and join me, that would be fantabulous. This video is sponsored by HostEZ. I run my community server with HostEZ, and you can run your servers with them too. Check the link and code below for 20% off. Hi everybody! Thanks for joining.
Oh,
We got special guests.
Proper stage.
Grimmcore and Verso, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. You guys want to have a seat on the couch?
On the nice couch, I'll sit here. No, I'll sit in the middle here, so I can sit. Yeah.
You might recognize
Wait.
this desk because this is where I do my news videos from.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Although I noticed someone has put giant sausages right in front of me, and I'm not quite sure what that's about. You're welcome. Thanks, Xerox. I appreciate it. In case I wanted a little snack or something, right?
Nice.
So let me see what else about the food was I thinking. Okay, so like in that video with the exploding person too, I said that I thought it was the onion soup sitting there, but I don't think it was. I think that was a new soup that also has onions on it, because I think we had seen that before. To be fair, little man was homesick that day and I was distracted. So, but yeah, I think that was another one. And then what else? What other new foods have y'all shown? I'm trying to remember.
There was this porridge, green porridge looking
Oh
thing.
yeah. Yes.
Where? Not on the video.
No, not on the video. It was on
There was a picture with teas. That's where we first saw the gelatin looking thing.
that was like an official picture
Mm-hmm.
that was put out that had like a whole set of the new foods, right? Honestly, I don't know what the green thing is. I have no idea. I haven't seen anything, I don't think, that matches that.
I'm looking at the video right now, and I can see 3 new food.
So, there's the rabbit legs.
Deer legs.
Hair legs.
Ah,
yes.
sorry. Pardon me. I'm going to have to retrain my brain. Hairy legs. So we're getting hairy
Hair
legs.
Yeah. Oh wait, what's
What
that
else
in the
is on the
back?
table?
There was one that looked like a hot dog. Well, the shape of a hot dog, but I don't know what it is.
No, see, I think that was one of the hair rugs that when it got destroyed, you know how
Oh, it
rugs
rolled up.
roll up?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what that ended up being. And the popcorn thing was just part of the explosion. Because
Yeah, from the item stand, right?
from the item stand or from whatever effect that explosion had. I don't know, because there was like popcorn everywhere. So that was not food.
I'm not sure. I think the video has been taken before Andrea had finalized the effects on that. I'm not sure. It looks like the old effects.
How's Andrea doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She's doing a really nice job with all the effects. She's gone through and done lots of effects in previous biomes.
Oh.
So it's she's been going through everything basically and looking at every effect in the game,
Wow.
just updating and cataloging and also just putting everything in correct folders and stuff like that and optimizing and yeah, she's doing good.
That's awesome. So
And the best thing is that Richard doesn't have to do it all the time. It takes off such a big load from Richard, so he can actually do what he wants to do instead. And when you're doing all these particle effects, it takes so much time because you go in like, okay, so you're doing like a bomb effect or whatever you're doing, and you have like this small image in your head like how the effect is supposed to look like. And basically it takes maybe like 1 to 6 hours just to try to fine-tune and tweak it really, really good.
Wow.
So all of that big load is like just switched over to Andrea instead.
That's
which
a
is
lot.
nice because it's a lot.
It seems like, oh, this little detail, but like that details can take a long time.
It's not just details. It's but details do take a long time. But it's also trying to get the style correct as well. She was doing some work on some flames and stuff like that, and then we were trying some. She was trying some other technique on the pixelated flames instead, and having like a flip book instead. It's difficult to explain in a good way, but it didn't just match the style of Valheim, so it has to be good art direction in the effects as well.
Oh, so basically, things were tested just to make sure that it flows with the whole aesthetic of Valheim.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, and. But I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of time, and it's nice to just have someone who is a specialist in that area. She's a technical artist. She doesn't just do VFX, but she does a lot of other things as well, like shaders and stuff, which is going to be really, really nice. And for example, in Mistlands, it's hopefully you will not notice too much of it, but when you have something like Mist, for example, is translucent material, it's called. And if you have something emissive in the translucent material, you can kind of see it from a distance. Doesn't matter how far away, because emissive materials tend to just shine through anything that is translucent. And those kind of things she goes in and tries to take care of and switch up the order and see if we can do something else other than an emissive material and stuff like that. So it's good to have someone who's technical and can go in and fix stuff like that.
That's cool. That makes me think too, just like thinking about all of the time and details that it takes to go in and adjust all of those things. And all of the people that have been so impatient lately.
No, people have been impatient, but I do understand people as well. But I think we have to do it our way. We will not push out stuff until it's done. We've been working since February, full force, with a 5-week vacation on the summer. So I think that's about 8 or 9 months so far on Mistlands, which is like an entirely new biome. I'm not saying it's fast or slow or anything. I just think it needs to take the time it needs to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not only fleshing out doing Mistlands, but you're also fleshing out other parts of what we currently have in the game.
Yeah. That also, and trying to optimize as well. We had the Unity boys came for a visit as well, so some optimization and profiling tools, stuff like that. It's like we're trying to improve Valheim as much as possible all the time. It does take a toll in time, of course, but it will be worth it in the long run, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, y'all tend to put out quality updates, and I think that that's like a blessing and a curse in a way, because the game feels so finished, when we're playing it, and it feels like it can be done by a big, huge team. And so I think people that don't really understand game development and what all goes into it, I think, they tend to get aggravated sometimes.
Yep, and that's totally understandable as well. Although I tend to become... Lately, I'm a bit salty when it comes to this, but I do understand, and because
I've
people
gotten salty lately too.
Yeah,
just saying. You may have noticed.
But I mean, it's like you can't expect everyone to understand how game development actually works, and the situation of the entire planet Earth hungers for content in movies, in series, in games, and whatever. We're down to on TikTok and YouTube as well, shorter content as much as possible. We're eating stuff so fast these days that it becomes a problem. The demand is so much higher than what we can process and actually create. So it's a culture that actually is eating up itself, and I think it's important for companies everywhere to just take a step back and rather delay your stuff and have it be good than just throw it out. Like normally these days, people tend to. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I know I'm ranting, but I'm going to continue ranting.
I've thought about doing a whole video just on this. So go ahead.
No, but these days, no, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I?
Everybody wants constant content all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So games these days are released, and they're released in such a way that it's probably not the full game, even if it's not early access. Like one of my favorite games right now is Dome Keeper. It's a great game, and it's a full release, but they still have stuff that they haven't implemented into the game, and I'm fine with that. Like, but I'm also fine with that because the culture is that way these days. You do not really release a full game. It's rare these days that you get a game that doesn't need an update.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
In my time, back when we had PlayStation 1.
Speaking of consoles, Xbox coming in the spring. That's exciting. That's probably going to bring a lot of new players into the game too.
Yep. I have so little to do with that. We had our dev kits come in for the consoles, and I've tried it a little bit, but I'm not so. I've been up to so much else.
Yeah.
It's mostly Luma who's been doing the Xbox stuff.
But
it is exciting. But that's also something that changed during early access also, because I thought we were going to wait until 1.0.
Yeah, that's what y'all had said after 1.0. I was surprised.
Yep, that's what I thought. And then, then that happened.
Well, the Xbox players are excited about it, so that'll be good. I bought an Xbox controller.
Yes.
Just so that I can, like, practice the controls with it to know and everything, but I don't think I'm going to turn into a controller player.
I've tried to play Valheim on controller, and I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm more of a mouse and keyboard person myself.
But I'm also thankful for like Richard, because he's got like a sore wrist. He gets like these shooting pains in his right arm.
Because he's on the computer all the time.
Yeah, probably. But he made, like, his intentions were like he wants to be able to play this game with a controller, because he doesn't play too many games without a controller. And he's also like doing the whole thing on Linux as well. So that has been just a big, huge plus for us as well. It was easy to transfer to Xbox. It was easy to transfer the controller settings over to Steam. What's it called? The Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's cool. I am not familiar with Linux in this game at all.
Yeah, they tried to force me. They force-fed me Linux computer one day, and I was like, no, give me Windows. And they're like, okay, and I got Windows.
Yeah, that's more my speed, for sure. I got some questions from people on the server, if you don't mind me flow through a couple of these. One of the things that I thought was interesting that somebody asked about, I think a couple different people asked about something similar, is I think it was Xerox and Kyle. Y'all don't come beat me up if I'm wrong. But talking about like the fluid dynamics in the game, like I know we're never going to have like flowing rivers and that kind of thing, but the way that y'all have implemented tar pits and being able to have that type of liquid in a consolidated space, what do you think about the idea, or I like to say, would it be possible? Because Jonathan will always say anything is possible. But about the possibility of having those somewhere not right by the ocean or the water. Like, could we have, not tar, but like applying it to water, like ponds or something like that, that's like above sea level, not like right next to the ocean or the river, but maybe farther back in the land?
I would say, okay. If we just take one step back and look at the liquid simulation that's going on with the tar, it's actually It's one of Unity's built-in liquid simulation things, but it's a really high cost of performance to make that happen. And we had to hack that quite a lot just for the tar amount that we had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was really, really buggy. I could see like us doing stuff like that for lava in Ashlands or something like that. But for bigger pieces like a flowing river, I
Yeah, but I don't mean like
happening.
for a flowing river, but I mean for like a little pond. Because right now the only place you find like little pond type places is right near the ocean.
Yeah.
Does it have to do with the being at sea level that it has
No.
to be near the ocean?
No. No, I don't. What would we do with the pond then?
Just have it there.
Okay, so
Have it
I
there.
already had a difficult time going to Richard saying like, "Hey, can we just have this?" And he was like, "Okay, what does it do?" Like, nothing. It's just this. Like, nah, we have more important things to do. So it's gonna be different. It has to do something. Yeah.
Okay, fishing. Right?
Yeah, you
Tiki?
do that in the ocean.
But you could do it in other places too.
Yes, exactly. You
Okay,
could.
we're gonna have to come up with a list of reasons if we want that one, guys.
But it's just not going to work with the liquid simulation, like using that specific liquid simulation that we have. I don't see that happening.
Clams and shrimp. Okay, we might be pushing it there. We had another question from Xerox too that I thought was interesting. You probably might be familiar with Xerox from Twitter. He's known as Zach Fisher over there. Yeah, and he was asking about like how you do your research for new designs and where do you start when you're pulling in ideas for things like in general, and then like if you're gonna create an animal or a creature, do you start with the creature and then decide what drops it would have, or do you start with what its drops or function needs to be and then go to the creature?
So normally it'll be either me or Richard who we're like either talking about something, or we just saw a movie, or we have, or we're let's take an example. Let's back in the day, Abomination. How Abomination came to life. That's a very specific little thing, but we thought it would be cool at some point just putting in a tree monster somewhere and having it be like something hidden. We had no idea how it looked like, but just something hidden. And it all started with basically every morning in Discord chat. This is so weird, but yeah, every morning we say "God morgon." I can't really. Oh, this is not going to translate well. But
that means it's naughty, right?
It means no. It means morgon. So it's okay. I'm going to type it. We say "God morgon," "God morgon." And then
I said it wrong.
And then Richard started to say evil Morgon. And then that turned into the evil Morgan. And then we started just talking about this. What is a Morgan? What is that?
What is a Morgan?
What is a Morgan? And out of the Morgan discussions, like this was going on for maybe a couple of months, like evil Morgan, Morgan. But that turned into the Abomination, and how.
Okay, wait. How did that turn into an abomination? There's no connection there in my mind at all. You're right. I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe this was a really bad example. Some other example, but normally it'll be me and Richard just talking about something that we think is cool, and how the Abomination came to life was that we thought that it would be cool if there was something hiding in plain sight that would it didn't start like a stump. Well, maybe it did, but we wanted like you've seen the animation. It starts upside down. It flips over, so it's standing for itself, like the right side up instead. We wanted to twist that around a lot and just and we didn't want to give it eyes. We didn't want to because we have all these like discussions, like giving something eyes means it has some kind of intelligence. It means that there's some kind of mind behind it, so we had to take away the eyes for the abomination, for example. Where does inspiration come from? Anywhere. It's basically me and Richard talking and coming up with stuff. Like a lot of the things that you'll go through in Mistlands is our undying love for the Alien franchise, and there are so many references there in Mistlands that it's if you look hard enough, you will see them.
Now I'm gonna have to go rewatch that and like look out for those along the way.
I think you will notice it a bit better when you play it, but
Yeah.
I don't think we have spoiled too much about that. But inspiration comes from just me and Richard talking, and we're always hyping each other up. Like he'll say something cool, and I'll say something cooler, and then he'll up-cool me, and he'll That's basically how we do, and it normally comes from a feeling. That's something we always talk about at Iron Gate is how do we want something to feel, and it sounds super cheesy, but I would recommend people to go check the GDC talk about Subnautica from their game director. Don't remember his name, but they basically did the same thing that with Subnautica. Like we were doing, like we're going from a feeling. We're listening to a song. How does this song make us feel? Like we've changed stuff after listening to Patrick's music.
I was gonna say, I talked to Patrick a little while ago, and that is something that we kept coming back to with him, is that it always comes back to the feeling. And you guys are really good at that, I think, of creating the sense of feeling, whether it's to throw you off, like the pleasant music in the plains or the creepiness of the swamp. Like, the feeling combination between the music and the sound effects, I think, is spot on.
And it is super important for us, and I think it's easy for us when we know what the feeling is, what we want to achieve. It's so easy to have that as a guiding star.
Yeah.
And we try to follow it as much as we can. So, for example, with Mistlands, since this is our real last chance to go in and actually just do something that... Okay, so I think I've said this before, but if you go and look at Ashlands and if you go and look at Deep North, you basically know what you're getting, because it's like, okay, it's the fireplace and it's the frozen place. But we wanted to have like Mistlands is the place where what actually is inside the mist, and we wanted to hide beauty, and we wanted to hide deadliness, like real danger. And that was a feeling we were trying to chase. And we felt like if you looked at the old Mistlands, that was a place where you kind of just, okay, things are gonna kill me here.
Yeah.
And it's when you have like these contrasts that actually create something really interesting. It's the same thing when you go for lighting, when you're lighting a place, a biome, or lighting your house or your things, and when you're doing composition work. It's all about the lighting with the contrast. Where do you want people to look? How do you want them to feel when they're looking at the painting or going through this certain corridor? It all comes down to feeling.
Because looking back now, seeing that you mentioned that, you kind of look at let's start from the meadows. It's more calm, welcoming, and you kind of move into the Black Forest. It kind of create a little tense feeling, but you kind of watch your back. But you can go through it. And then we move to the swamp where it's more depressed and stinky. That's how I visualize it.
Yep.
And It's not like welcoming a place that you would consider live there. And then you move on to the mountains. You see mountains, that cold. You're thinking about, freezing to death. So, and then plains. Plains was like interesting to me. It's like meadows welcoming, but then danger, like deadly
Yep.
dangerous. And then Mistlands. No, I think what you guys, as you're saying, is something different. And what I was thinking is that Mistland creating this mystery of what is in this land, what is around the corner, this beauty right here, what death is awaiting you. So it kind of it has a mix of feeling with that, with some of the pictures I'm seeing. Thinking about all the other biomes.
Yeah, like after tuning. Okay, so we started doing Mistlands. Me and Richard started talking about what we want to do with Mistlands. I think that was about this time last year. We were working on the caves updates, and we were like, okay, so we need to start. Half the team is working on the caves. We need to start talking about Mistlands. And we were just doing some really quick rocks and some textures for the ground, and just like getting some feel for it. And we just instantly looked at images of Iceland, and how beautiful it is with like or how striking colors become when you add like really, really dark rock underneath. So the green really, really pops. And that kind of it's like it's both barren and it's also filled with life at the same time, and you've got the mist on top of that, which is super thick. And we're like, okay, so how can we actually expand on this? Like, we're going to go through this mist all the time. Do we want some we can't really get nice interesting points of interest, so by making these huge pointy cliffs, we wanted to try to force players to get up on top of the cliffs and just look for some nice points of interest. So a lot of the things that happens in Mistlands right now is like you go in, you don't see that much until you start climbing the rocks and climbing the cliffs, and then you see something in the background and you're like, okay, let's try to get over there. So then you have to dive down back into the mist, try to navigate to that place. I'm saying, calling it right now, it's impossible to play no map in Mistlands. It's yeah. But then at the same time, when we were creating it from the start, we had some photos, we had some idea what we wanted to do. But then it's also like games have to have some, or if you're watching a series, not all the time, but like movies, series, games, they often have like one element of super extreme thing. Either it's like super extreme action, or it's over the top. I don't know, car driving game. But like what I think here, when you go to Valheim, it's the world that is extreme. Like, you're just a normal human, you're pretty fragile, and you've got really bad stamina all the time. But the world is what is extreme. So I think going from plains, which is not that extreme, and the only thing that is extreme in the plains, if you just look at the biome of the nature, is like these huge rocks. And just by adding, if you add too many of these huge rocks, then nothing is special. But if you just add a few of them, these become like really nice points of interest and good places to go to. Yeah, so there's a good contrast and some extreme points. And
that sounds like there's going to be a lot of grand adventures and body rescues going on. It's going to be hard. You have succeeded in scaring me. All of you have succeeded in scaring me for Mistlands. I'm very, very nervous about it. But, I mean, like, it is, as Hubs always says, a brutal survival game. Like, that's the standard answer when people are like, this is too hard, make this easier, make that easier. It's a brutal survival game.
It is a brutal survival game, and I think, okay, so I'm going to complain. I'm going to rant again. We have internal testers who are like, this is too difficult, this is too hard. And they're partially right. They're dying all the time, and it's like, yeah, that is true, but imagine swamps having a baby with mountains, and it's the biome that comes after plains. What are you actually expecting? There's lots of ups and downs. There's bad vision. You can't see that much. So, Mistlands is definitely going to be a biome that people hate or love.
More to come in the next episode of Playing with a Dev. Thanks to all of my supporters, and if you're interested in joining the Happy Gamer server, check the link in the description below.
Happy gaming!
Happy gaming!
Happy gaming!